And here we go, and ba-boom! I was ready for you this time. I was ready because I saw that Christmas tree. Wait. It's March. What are we talking Christmas trees for? You know why? Because it's soon to be April 2nd. That's right. Soon to be April 2nd. April 2nd begins the racing season at Calverton, Epcal Park. That's right. Calverton, New York. Thank you definitely to the town supervisor in Riverhead, the council, so many others, the line ads, the Long Island Needs a Drag Strip, Pete Scalza, his efforts, because my good friend Dennis Catoni, who's been with me, who actually guided me all along, going back years, 4 years ago, with the help of JVC Broadcasting. How was the catalyst? Really, what was the catalyst? What really was the catalyst to make this thing work? And not only that, what is the catalyst? What is this idea of racing going to be the catalyst for going forward? I really wonder about that. So, what started this whole thing? Was it my interest? Let's put it that way, right? And then we're going to meet. Oh, we definitely will over the next couple of weeks. We're going to meet a few people along the way at the races, at the car show tonight, also. That we'll hear their story about what their catalyst was, why they went down this path of enjoying the car shows tonight. May not be racing cars; they just may be making these vehicles or working on these vehicles, making them great stuff. And I can see if I could pop around over here and go get the photos. I'm looking at the screen like it's going to change for me over here. God, this is where you really need a producer. It's like, okay, hey, Mike, Barry, get this thing going over there. Cue the photos. Boy, wouldn't that be a lot easier doing this? Definitely would be. But it's not that easy. Hey, Mr. King, you and I need to chat too. We had spoken about some individual that is racing out there. Really would love to see if we could pursue that a little bit more. You know what I'm talking about. All right. So what is the catalyst over here? Mike, Mike photos. Yeah, we're going to talk about that too. Oh, so much. All right, here we go. And I just got done talking with my wife at about, I don't know, 12:59, about a minute before I hit this thing. It's like, what are we going to talk about? Where are we going to go? We're ready to go. Got so many things going on here. Let's just talk about something. Catalyst. Let's use that word here. Catalyst. Catalyst is the word of the day. Catalyst. What is a catalyst? In my opinion, I'm not going to look it up over here to see what the actual definition of catalyst is, but a catalyst is something that kind of, boom, opens your eyes. A catalyst is something that moves you forward. A catalyst is something that makes things happen. So, really, what was it? What is the catalyst for me? Selfishly speaking, over here, what is the catalyst for me on this? I thought about that because I got a few people that have contacted me, like, really very happy I'm involved with this thing. And I don't race a car. I don't race a car. But I have an interest there. So maybe the catalyst was something I contribute back to my father. I remember we used to go down to Islip Speedway, Freeport Speedway. Yeah. If you're under the age of 40 or something like that, you probably have no clue in the world. They have one is now an apartment complex, I believe. The other was a retailer, and even it's so long ago, I think that retailer's gone out of business. But they were right smack in the middle. Maybe that was the issue of Islip and Freeport. So we used to go down there quite a bit. Father enjoyed it. Why he did, why he does, don't know. Maybe the next time I speak to him, I should ask that question. Definitely ask that question. What was his catalyst for being interested in auto racing? Because as far as I know, he did have a 57 Chevy, come to think of it. Never saw it, that kind of thing. But, so my catalyst. So, growing up, he took me over there. We went there and always enjoyed it. I know for my 13th birthday, yeah, that was a couple of decades ago. My 13th birthday, we were there, went down with a couple of friends, and that was at Islip. That was definitely at Islip because I remember the dragway behind it. And it was, never saw any of the drag races there, but it was just kind of weird because the stands were right there. These were permanent stands, and the dragway was just there, right there, um, right there. And then they had the vendors there too. And I remember I got this plastic car. I was so proud of the whole thing. Might have been Petty. I think it was Petty's car, the number 43 in Petty blue. Love that thing. Absolutely love that thing. So maybe that was the catalyst. Maybe it was the excitement of the racing that took place at these tracks. There was one I recall, a couple of crazy stuff, crazy stuff. So they had a football demolition derby. That's right, my friends. No football players were involved in this one. Football demolition derby. Now, picture this: two teams, got to have two teams, got to have a football. What do you think the football is? Well, football would be a car. So their goal, the whole goal of this thing was to get the car, the football, over the goal line. And they smashed the car to move the car, and of course banged into each other and moved the car. It was the craziest thing. I don't remember. I don't remember an outcome of these things. Somebody must have won someplace. That was exciting. That was probably stupid, but exciting. I'm also not a big fan of the car rollover competition that they have, and they do that at Riverhead. I was like, that one's beyond me, in that one. Midget racing. Oh yeah, midget, quarter midget. These were, I don't know, they were large go karts, much more powerful than a go kart, or they were small modified cars. But man, seemed like the track was fit perfectly for that. You know, that was a quarter-mile track or fifth of a mile track, something like that. Fantastic fun. What about Volkswagen racing? Oh, the Volkswagen Bugs, the rounded Bugs, VW Bugs. There was one car I remember. It seemed like the car, and all of them were Volkswagens, every last one of them. So the cars would race, and then it was coming into the third turn. For some reason, he didn't stop. Everybody else was slowing. He just rolled right up and over the top. That was the funniest thing in the world. Funniest thing in the world. Maybe it was that excitement that I saw. Could be the danger of some of these things too. I remember one car going on fire. No one got hurt, but still. But so it was the excitement of that whole thing that was the catalyst. Perhaps that was it. Maybe that was what it was. And then maybe it was the fact that I've enjoyed watching the NASCAR races and some of the drag races, more NASCAR stuff, to be full disclosure here. That kind of stuff. I always thought the driving was kind of fascinating. Went up to Watkins Glen, Pocono Speedway. Enjoyed Pocono. Loved Watkins Glen. Loved the fact. Got a chance to actually see the drivers in the cars as they were racing. Really see them because you're able to stand in the infield. Watch them go around the turns and how they set up for the turns and what was going on, within the car from the driving standpoint. That was really interesting. So even the new NASCAR stuff with the cars of tomorrow, the cars they are racing today, they are much more similar. I mean, the whole idea here was to make the cars much more similar. This way, these teams didn't have to spend as much money developing new products, new performance areas on the car. So the teams didn't have to spend that much money doing it. So now it's leveled the playing field from the car standpoint. It's made the drivers, I think, much more factor in the racing. There's a few things I don't really just, some of the tracks, the newer tracks, I don't really agree with. Another topic, as that goes. But it became the driving skills. So for me, I think racing has always been the driving skills that go along. Hey, Karen, that's my wife in there. Mr. Cohen. I don't know what the Mr. Cohen is here. Wait a second. Let's put this down. So I want to make sure everybody sees that, because if I ever get behind the wheel of a car out there, I want to see you still say that you're thrilled and that kind of thing. I might borrow your car, or your mother's car. Go race your mother's car. Mine will go too slow. But it's always been the driving skills. So, all right. So what's the story with drag racing? All you do is you take your foot, you hit it on the gas pedal when the light goes green, and you go. Nah. I originally got interested with the drag racing folks and all the rest of that stuff from the standpoint of it would be fun. It's something exciting. The driving side of it didn't really see that really didn't come to me, but I think the economic impact is huge from a tourism standpoint. From tourism standpoint, people come from Connecticut, Jersey, whatever, just and enjoying the racing, and then maybe going to one of the other water parks, whether it be Splish Splash. There's another park being built. Another park being built. Certainly got the beaches, the golf courses, the wineries. After driving, the wineries, camping. I mean, that's really perfect for the racing crowd, right? You come out to the track, you bring your motor home, and the rest of that stuff. Go track, plenty of parking over there. And go out to the campgrounds out at Montauk or wherever. Enjoy. Wow, that sounds like a great vacation. Karen, where'd you go there? But we'll go rent a mobile home. We'll go do that stuff. Spend the weekend at the track, and they go out east. That'd probably be fun. So I think the tourism side of it with a track would be really something that would be good. I think that would be beneficial from an economics impact. The vocational side of it, you take a look at the vocational side of it. If you just stay within the racing side of it, there is an awful lot of teams, professional drivers, mechanics, crew chiefs that have worked their way through Riverhead Raceway. That's right. You have a small local track, but a lot of people had done an awful lot. You have gained an awful lot of success from there, especially like the modifieds and stuff like that, because that's a touring race. They go to different tracks. They're up in Connecticut. They were all over, really, as they go. So there's a lot of folks that did an awful lot and accomplished an awful lot over here. They're now part of their professional race teams as crew chiefs, became professional race car drivers, outside and moved up to different classes, higher speed cars and stuff like that, with Riverhead Raceway. So that's kind of, that's exciting. And then the vocational side of it too. And this is, I have no idea what the numbers would be, but how many people, Doug, I'm going to miss, I'm going to not going to watch that side over there. But how many people have gone on into just general automotive careers? How many people need to go into general automotive careers? Gosh, I was listening to the radio the other day, actual radio. And there was one automotive company, and I'm waiting to get the approval from them before I mention it. But it is one automotive company that is actually looking to hire somebody with no experience. Obviously, it's got to be an interest. It should be a high interest, but no experience. No experience. Now, think about that. So if you're a high school student that just kind of loved the car racing, maybe got involved with something, volunteer, who knows, whatever, at the tracks, but joined your high school automotive program, started doing some work in there, getting classes, getting some experience, learning how to weld, blueprint, teamwork, that kind of stuff. Learning to understand how a car really, truly operates. Not the understanding you and I have. We turn the key, hit the gas pedal, and it goes. And you hit a brake every once in a while. But really understanding it. Could you imagine if that student showed up at that company and said, I have no technical experience, no real work experience, but since 10th grade, 11th grade, I've been, in the automotive program, and hey, these are some of the things I've done. And the guy takes a look at it. It's like, oh, is he serious? She's serious? Goes on there. Be nice to have a LinkedIn page. We could talk about career stuff, where you should have your resume. LinkedIn page. That'd be good. Goes on your Facebook page. You probably have a Facebook page. And maybe that's for old people. Maybe they don't go on your Facebook page. Maybe they go on your Instagram page. Or your TikTok page or something like that. And what do they see? Are they going to see a formal resume? Nah, not going to see a formal resume, not there. But what they will see is you working on a car, you with a whole bunch of people, you in the classroom, and those kind of photos. Smiling, enjoying, building, creating something. Hey, maybe you're the person that came up with a new idea, a way to save weight on the car or make something stronger from a suspension standpoint, I don't know. But if that company saw those photos of you in high school, 10th grade, 11th grade, you think they'd have an interest? Oh, I definitely do. So now my thinking here too with track, whether it be Riverhead Raceway or the racetrack, not street over at EPCAL, is the fact that I think it will be a catalyst. Oh, there's that word, a catalyst for future careers. Maybe in racing, maybe not. Maybe in developing stronger car bodies that are lighter weight, stronger structures. Maybe it'll generate some careers in the audiovisual world. Perhaps it would. Maybe it'll generate some event planners. Somebody's got to work on these tracks, people in stands, the rest of that stuff. Here's some other thoughts too. What about food trucks, things like that? A lot of possibilities that go along with it. So it might be a big time catalyst in a whole bunch of different areas as this goes along. You just never know. And now the drag racing, let's get back to that, right? So I enjoyed the excitement of the track, the idea of the football stuff, the childhood memories, the fun stuff, going out to Watkins Glen, went out there with my son. Let me tell you, I remember those smiles. There was one race we went to, so cool, so cool. I was a big fan of Steve Park, local guy. Big fan of Steve Park. I'm wearing his shirt, and he's a big fan of Mark Martin, number 6. Why? Because son was 6 years old at the time, so there's logic in there. Mark Martin, good guy. I'll tell you, good guy. So it was nice. I'm wearing one shirt, he's wearing the other. What do you think? They come in first and second that day. We're walking around. We're like a walking billboard. What a great smile on my son's face. Anytime we went to the races, even going out to one of the car, it wasn't even a car show. They had a car out there, a race car out there with some fair that was out there. Big smile. Big smile. So all this stuff bring back fond memories. But the drag racing in and of itself, right? That's simple, isn't it? That's just simple. You just light goes green and go. You want to know something? I learned this last year. And this is what really hooked me on the whole thing. It's not that easy. Now, granted, I'm not there with my car. I'm not, my tires aren't going to burn out or anything like that. I'm not worried about car control. That's not, I'm not going to go fast enough for that. But I am going to have to worry about and think about my reaction time. In other words, how fast is it going to take me to get that car going when that light goes green? Part of it. But here's the excitement part of it. If you're looking at it from that action standpoint, the way these drivers handle the more powerful cars going down the track. Because when you have a track with no track compound, that's the stuff that makes the track sticky, that makes the wheels grip. And this one doesn't, and it doesn't for environmental reasons. And we could debate whether or not that's good, bad, or indifferent, but it just is a fact. It is a fact. Eighth mile track on concrete, no compound, none. So what happens now is that when the cars, and we're talking cars that go fast enough to spin the tires, all the rest of the stuff, those cars, those drivers have to have amazing car control, gas pedal control, shifting control. They need to really work through that thing. So it is interesting that without the compound, it actually becomes an equalizer, just like the NASCAR cars. It becomes an equalizer of sort. Because if you have so much power in your car, go back to the story I told you about Freeport, right? So that car that I raced against, I had my 74 Capri, 4 cylinders. I will find that photo, by the way. I really did do this thing. 4-cylinder car. Don't have a photo of the other guy. 57 Chevy. Think it was. Whatever. I don't really know. Doesn't make a difference. Big tires, big engine, big everything. Blew me away on the starting line. So much faster than I was. The problem with his car, the reason why he lost is because he had too much power and he didn't know what to do with it. Boy, I would love to run across that guy. He screwed up. He screwed up. Bottom line is he screwed up. Because when he saw me And I'm going slow car, man. I just was going as fast as I possibly could. I really wish I looked down at the speedometer. I'd be shocked if I got to 50 miles. Let's go 50 miles an hour. Sounds a little bit more respectable than 50 miles an hour. Um, I don't think I got out of third gear, so probably 50-ish or so. But anyhow, he saw me. He hit the gas, boom, He spun. He didn't spin out, but his tires spun. He fishtailed. He lost control of his car. He had to slow, and I didn't have to slow. I wasn't going fast enough to slow down, so I kept on going. Let's move this over to the drag strip. Cars line up. Two of them line up together. Right? I line up. I bring my like stupid car, whatever. I bring my stupid car. I'm lined up. I'm racing against. Let's go with Mr. Chevy over here. Mr. Chevy. Here's what's going to happen. I mean, there's no compound now on the track. Some rubber, so it's a little stickier and all the rest of that stuff, but a lot. I hit that gas pedal. I could put that pedal all the way down to the floor, and the car goes. It goes 10 miles an hour, 20 miles an hour, whatever it goes. He does the same thing. You want to know something? Those tires start spinning. I'm moving. He's not. His tires are moving. His car is not. That's it. Oh. If he were to start slower, get some momentum going, and then go, now the tires will grip a little bit more. And he goes faster. Same thing if you're shifting gears, right? So, yeah, I'm not shifting gears. Shifting gears, boom, first, second, boom. But if you really nail that gas pedal and there's no compound on that truck, those tires are going to spin. Makes it for a little bit more interesting because the tires spinning, you might lose control of the car. So if it was compound, you wouldn't have that. But there is no compound. That now means that the drivers of those cars, the big high-powered cars, really need to finesse their way down the track to do it. It's different. It's different. And from a spectator standpoint, I tell you, I find that to be interesting because that's the thing that it really got me interested, really interested in the drag racing kind of thing. Not how fast the car can go down there, but how well you can control the car, how much power you need to put down in order to get the car going and not spin the tires too much and get the momentum going and shift at the right time and all the rest of that stuff. Now, if you watch, now I started to watch the professional drag racing, the big cars, the funny cars, and the dragsters, in that respect, because they do the same thing at much, much higher speeds. I mean, they do, 300, 350 miles an hour going down the track. It's a whole different world. Not happening at Calverton. No way. No way. I think the speed limit's 100 a quarter on that one, and it's 1/8 mile a quarter, all the rest of that stuff. But that car control is really there. But it happens so quick, you don't see it. It happens a lot slower, but it's the same thing, on this one. And that's interesting. It's interesting to me as a spectator getting a chance to watch it. Actually, it'd be fun as me as an announcer getting to talk about that. Got to find the right terminology. I think last year I used the word squirrely. I'm not sure that's a proper term. Also, their track compound is not called sticky stuff. That's not good. I can say that here. They'll laugh me out of the game here. All right, Johnny. Yeah, there you go. Johnny Consola levels the playing field. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I agree. Then we'll put that one up over here. Boom. So now he races a car. So he knows. I don't know, but he also is great. John was big help with me in the booth there last year. I was like, okay, make sure I don't say anything like really stupid. Little stupid, I'm good. Big stupid, no, not a good thing. But yeah, man, I think it really does. It does lay okay. That's a term. They even use that on the other side of it. But it's interesting. And I think, and Johnny and the rest of the team that are driving out there, I really would love to ask this question, once we are out at the track and get a chance to talk to everybody, is like, do you approach the race differently? Do you approach the whole thing differently because there is no compound on that thing? Are you really bringing your own? Is it testing? And let's not take this wrong over here, but is it testing your driving skills differently because of that? Now, I'm also thinking too, so it's, March 29th, we're racing this weekend, so it's a couple of days from now. It's cold out there. It's 30 degrees. I was looking for 35 degrees and sunny right now. I don't know what the weather forecast is for the weekend, but I know who I'm going to go tap into to go find that out. But it's going to be cold. It's going to be cold, and it's concrete. I believe it's a concrete, what they're driving on this shit too. So it's cold. How does that affect everything too? So there's a lot. So now all of a sudden, if you think about these dragsters ripping down the track at 350 miles an hour, boy, everything, every little nuance matters. You're talking people. I mean, we're talking professional careers there too. So you're talking thousands of a second between winning and losing and all the rest of that. Big money, big everything, sponsorship, the whole deal. The whole deal. Now, all of a sudden, we got this 8th mile track out of Calverton on an old runway. Everything that's happening on that drag strip at 350 miles an hour is actually now happening over here. Much slower, shorter, 8th mile, not quarter mile. So spectators, you get a chance to see everything, start to finish, really, truly, start to finish. You don't have to look down the road to see a quarter mile down there to watch the end. You get a chance to see everything. Photographers, everything, across the board. You even go down to the finish area. You can take some photos as I cross the finish line. But so you get a chance to see all of this stuff. And I think that side of it is truly fascinating. So we're definitely going to look into speaking with folks about that. All right, here's what's going on. So it's March 29th. Let's go with the exact date. It is Tuesday. What does that mean? Tonight is the first night of the 2020. We use that announcer voice, John. Tonight is the first night of the 2022 season over at Mount Carmel Church in Patchogue, New York. That's right. It's the first car show of the year. Going to be a great night. Might be a little chilly, but that's okay, because I heard that Long Island Needs a Drag Strip also has sweatshirts for those Long Islanders who need a sweatshirt that says Long Island Needs a Drag Strip. Or is it Long Island Got a Drag Strip? We're good. So tonight, 5 to 7 o'clock, 5 p.m. is when it starts. Men, women, cars, motorcycles. It's amazing. Amazing what's down there. If I had more time, I'd show you some of the photos I took last year. But so that's tonight. Donations are requested, greatly accepted, all the rest of that stuff. Any money, food donations, whatever, goes directly to the church, goes directly to the folks in need. So you perishable items, money, whatever you want to do, all good. A couple of food trucks will be there. I don't know how many cars. You don't know. They're not making reservations, but it was a lot. It was an awful lot. If you're a military buff, last year there was some military Jeeps that were down there. If you're a 1950s buff, there was some folks down there with gas, the gas pumps from that. They set up a whole area. It was just absolutely incredible. I got those photos. History cars, fantastic. Brand new cars, fantastic. Stuff that's being worked on, stuff that's been worked on. Just an amazing crowd. Absolutely amazing crowd. That's tonight. Racing is on Saturday. Gates open at 8 o'clock. Inspection opens at 8 o'clock. The inspection goes until 3 o'clock in the afternoon, which I find to be a little late, but whatever. The racing, the hot track, is from 11 to 4 p.m. on Saturday. Weather's going to be good. I know it's going to be good. So that's now Saturday, Sunday. It's the next Saturday, 5 Saturdays and Sundays in April. If you need tickets, go down there tonight. Cash, pick up the tickets. For the track, whether spectator or racers, all that stuff is going to be there. Donna Bonnie will be there. I know Pete's down there. Marie's back up from Florida. Hopefully, you're going to bring more of the warmer weather with you. On that one, Johnny will be there, I'm sure, and a whole bunch of other folks. So I'll certainly be there. Down there. I'd love to meet and chat with you about that. But so you can get the tickets for the races on Saturday. That's good. I forgot what else I was going to talk about in here. Yeah, I know, man. That's amazing. You see that one? Look at that. 850 cars. Now, if 850 cars and everybody donated $10, that is a lot of money going to the church, going to the folks in need. That's a beautiful thing. Beautiful thing. So really great stuff. And then also the spectators that go along with it too. Really good. All right. So what do I want to talk about? The catalyst. That was the big thing. The racing this weekend. That's the big thing. Where is it going to go? I'm going to have to leave that one aside. Where is it going to go? It'll go different places. Let me just end on this one as a big thank you. Johnny, Pete, Marie, Dennis, Arthur Germain helped me with the press release that we got going out over there. But here's the other thought too, and as the request going out, these 5 races in April. After the 5 races in April, there's a hiatus for bird nesting, and we won't start again until August 20th. And then the races are going to go from August 20th out until October. Those races are going to be a little bit different. Some will be day, some will be evening. Be a whole lot of fun. Definitely looking forward to that. These 5 races. So if you take any photos and you want to share them, by all means, please do. Interviews. You go out there. I know a few of you love to interview people. There are a few of you out there like to talk just as much as I do. God, I love you. But for your own purposes, go out. Let me know. We'll coordinate the whole thing. But let me know. We can capture some interviews and stuff like that. I'm also looking to connect with folks that are in the media. The regular newspapers, the TV shows, the rest of that stuff. Local papers too. And I was also thinking about the bloggers out there. Going back to why I think and why I originally got started with this Catalyst from an economic standpoint, a tourism standpoint, wholesome family fun standpoint, a lot of families out there. That's the story I want to tell. So if you could help me tell that story through their efforts with what they do. So if it's an economic person and they want to talk about the economy, the economics of this thing, absolutely great. If it's a family fun, leisure to Long Island, something like that, hey, you know what? That's great too, because it fits into the whole thing. So if you have any suggestions who I might reach out to, please let me know. You got all my contact information over there. Just let me know. Happy to do that. And for everybody, we'll see you tonight, right? We'll see you tonight, Tuesday night. That's right, Tuesday nights now. The car show is 5 o'clock. We'll be down there. Dress warm. Buy a sweatshirt. Long Island needs a drag strip. I know they're going to be down there. And get the tickets for this weekend. All right, remember, friends, speak well, speak often, live inspired.